guys, it's Sammy here from First Step Fitness, and today we're going to be going over one of the, if not the most important fundamental exercise that you can go over, and that is going to be the squat. So the squat is essential because we use it in our everyday, day-to-day lives. So anytime you're going down to pick something up, usually it's either a squat variation or a deadlift variation, right? And this is going to be really important to focus on, especially as the general client shifts from their goals. It differs from like wanting a beach body and wanting to be ready for summer, and it's more and more of a focus on longevity and sustainability and just living a long and healthy life. And this is one of those key movements that you're going to want to get down sooner rather than later for that. Okay, so we're going to start off with the easiest progression, and that's going to be what's called a box squat. You can use a bench too. It's essentially, you can start from a seated or an unseated position, by the way, depending on your comfortability level. I'm going to start from a standing position. Feet are going to be about, let's see, shoulder width apart. You're going to have your arms straight ahead. You're going to unlock your knees. You're going to make sure your glutes and your core are engaged. You're going to inhale and brace, and you're going to come down. Just barely touch that bench. Exhale as you press up. All right. So that's one variation. Another variation, if you're a beginner, and for some people this is easier, is going to be a stability ball squat. And I'll show you what that looks like right now. So you got your stability ball here. I'm going to move these clips out of the way. These are kind of like my little stabilizers. You're going to start with a ball pretty much between you and the wall. Have your feet a little bit out ahead of you. Still reaching. Same mechanics. All right, now that is a great variation to include, especially if you're starting out and that variation or a typical body weight squat proves to be a little bit too difficult. The stability ball is going to act as kind of like a stabilizer to help you as you're getting down to the bottom portion of that lift, and then also provide stability on the way up as your body gets in tune and familiar with how to get out of that position and use all those muscles together efficiently. So the next progression from that is going to be what we call a goblet squat. Now essentially what that's going to look like, let me grab a handy dandy weight here. Okay. Now you can use one of these, you can use a dumbbell, really whatever you want to use to act as kind of a counterbalance and bring your core into play a little bit. Okay. So this provides stability at the bottom portion in a similar way because you kind of have a counterbalance in front of you, kind of pulling you forward, while without it, you're going to want to be, it's going to want to pull you backwards. Okay, so that is a good progression as well. Now, I usually suggest to my clients, keep this as close to your chest as possible because the further away from the midline of your body, the more tension that's putting on your shoulders, okay? And this isn't a shoulder exercise. This is a lower body exercise for the quads, the glutes, and the hamstrings, okay? So, midline of the body, same mechanics, okay? Now another thing, I usually go through a checklist with every one of my clients for certain lifts, and the first thing is going to be stance, okay? Because our kinetic chain starts at our feet, so we want to make sure our stance is good. Now for me, I'm going to have mine about shoulder width apart, okay? Toes, straight ahead, 30 degrees out, that's fine with me. Anything past 30 degrees, like what you're seeing right now, no bueno, okay? It's going to hurt your knees in the long run. Let's come back to center. So stance good, toes good. Now we're going to go up to the next one of our connect chain. It's going to be our knees. Okay, so we're going to want to unlock our knees to begin to engage our hamstrings a little bit more and load those a little bit more easily as we're prepping to go down for the movement. Okay. So next thing is going to be our lumbo-pelvic hip complex. That's the fourth checkpoint in the connect chain. And essentially what we're going to be doing here is three things at once. Okay. So we're going to be engaging our glutes, we're going to be engaging our core, and we're going to be inhale and brace. Okay, now it's dramatized for you to kind of see. but I'm essentially starting from the bottom of my abdomen, okay? So pretty much where the diaphragm begins. I'm gonna build up that tension, okay? Until where I feel like I absolutely have to get rid of it. 1, 2, 2, 2. All right, so you'll notice there, inhale, brace on the way down, exhaling as I begin to press up through the movement. Some people will tell you to press up just as you're about to, or I'm sorry, they'll tell you to exhale just as you're about to press. Other people will suggest, okay, wait, don't release all of that just there. Wait till you get to the sticking point, then exhale. You find whatever works best for you, okay? Especially in the beginning, it's going to be more about just being consistent and tracking everything to ensure that you're using progressive overload every week, or every session if you can, to ensure that you are actually making progress and not just doing the same thing over and over. So that's going to be the goblet squat. And if you can do the goblet squat comfortably, if you can do the stability ball squat comfortably, there's a couple things you could do. You can move to a barbell squat, or you can move to one of my personally favorite exercises. It is the Bulgarian split squat, okay? So now, I actually saw somebody in the gym earlier doing this, and his mindset was right. Okay, he was trying to create stability for an unstable movement, but I introduced a couple things to him. I said, hey, I have some advice that might help you, but only if you're interested. He said, yeah, let me hear it. So I said starters, I saw him kind of using the crevice here, creating a little bit of a stability point with the bench. That's not what we want to do. If you want to create stability, I'd say just set up the bench like this, so your back leg has a little bit more room to move if needed. Extend one heel out, whether it's your, I usually like to start with my non-dominant side, but for me that's going to be my right side. My left side is a lot stronger from like years of skateboarding, and that's a whole other conversation. But I'm going to start with my right side. I'm going to extend my heel out. I'm going to follow through. My heel's not going to move, okay? Good. Now I've got my starting position. So same thing, all right? Stance is good. Not as important here, right? Because we're doing a unilateral exercise, so it's not going to be shoulder width apart or anything. But I usually like to have one foot pointing straight ahead, left foot pretty much exactly where it was, but just further back on the bench, okay? I'm going to unlock my knees, core and glutes engaged. Inhale, brace. Exhale to press up. Now, of course, the breathing doesn't need to be as dramatized as that was, but that was kind of a demonstration just for the sake of you kind of getting an idea of how to utilize your breathing during this movement. And then also we will be going over breath work in future videos, because how you breathe during certain movements is actually a huge factor into how well you lift that weight. Okay. But before we go too far, this is a unilateral exercise. Really good for addressing muscular imbalances, or if you just want to work a singular side. But me, I want symmetry. So anything that you do for one side, you do with the other. That's right. Okay, so right side good, left side same thing. Heel locked, right foot pretty much exactly back where it was, just on the bench. Unlock your knees, core and glutes engaged. Inhale, brace, come down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. And so those are some simple exercises that you can do pretty much anywhere. The box squat, the goblet squat even. Well, maybe not so much the goblet squat. You might need a dumbbell or a weight for that. But the box squat for sure, and the Bulgarian split squat can be done virtually anywhere. So if you are one of those people that is tight on time, which a lot of us typically are, and you want to get a quick workout in with your lower body, okay, I would strongly suggest incorporating either a box squat, some body weight squats, or if that's a little bit easy for you, some Bulgarian split squats, and just get a few reps of those, maybe like 2 to 3 sets. If you're looking for just strength, rep range would be good, 1 to 6. If you're looking for more like hypertrophy, I'd suggest anywhere from 6 to 12, maybe 6 to 15. Anything after that is just going to be muscular endurance, okay? With that said, that is going to be the video today. That's going to be my first video. I'm not going to lie, I had a deadlift video here ready like yesterday, but I think I'm going to save that one for another time just so I can put a little bit more polish on it, just because it is such a high, I don't want to say it's like low reward, high risk, because that is one of the fundamental movement patterns that we use every day. And if you do perform it correctly, that's going to be one of the best exercises that you can include in your routine. But with that said, I want to dedicate more time to that specific exercise so we can go a little bit more in depth to that. And that'll probably be the next week's video. All right, thank you all. Stay tuned.